Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm doing a first impressions video of this gigantic game called Terminus Frontier. This is just a prototype, so just to show you how massive this game is going to be. So, what is Terminus Frontier? Now, this is a 1 to 4 player dungeon crawler campaign style game by Forgeborne Games. I want to thank them for sending me this prototype for the first impressions video. The Kickstarter will be starting next year. So, as you can see from this name of this video, is this a Gloomhaven killer? And it might be. So, again, this is just a prototype. But essentially what's going on in this game is you're going to be choosing your characters, and you're going to be going on different types of missions. There's like bounty missions, there's rescue missions, there's survival, and stealth missions. So the campaign is going to be differentiated. Of course, depending on how each scenario is finished, it can affect you later on in the game. And of course, you can upgrade your characters, adding more cards and getting more powerful weapons. So let me show you very briefly how this game works and plays. Again, I'm not going to go over everything because there is a lot. So let me show you how to play, and then we'll go right into my initial impressions. Okay, so this is how one scenario is going to look. So this is a scenario number 8. There's also stealth missions, there's bounty hunter missions, but this is a survival mission. I'm just going to show you how the game works and plays. Again, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this game. I'm just giving you a basic rundown. So we just got done playing a 3-player game here. As you can see, these are the characters. This was the character that I chose. So let's go over the character board first, so that I can show like what exactly is going on. And so like I stated before, this is a survival mission. You have to survive for 4 rounds before help arrives, but you cannot have any of the colonists, you can't have more than 4 get killed. So now on the board here, you're going to see these different slots. You have your head health, arm, chest, and legs. Your chest is your main health. Now, when your legs, arms, or head reach 0, you are going to get a minor trauma card. So there's a bunch of cards here. So you can see, so like these are minor trauma cards. This is for head and leg. So if your head and your leg was injured, you would draw one of these cards, and something bad is going to happen to you. If you got severe trauma, this is what would happen to you. So again, there is a lot of things going on here. I'm just giving you some basic info on how this game works. So this is where your actions are going to be taking place. Now you're going to have these threat levels here. So what the threat level means is who the enemies are going to be more prone to attacking. So the colonists are starting at number 3, and now depending on which action or squad formation you're going to take is going to move you up on this track here. Now these little things, these are called resolves. As you go up on them, you're going to place them on your board right here, and you're going to be able to spend them during your turn. So as you can see here, this is what certain things will cost. So the more you have, you can do these awesome actions. So like I stated before, you're going to choose what you want to do, and that's going to tell you how many action points you're going to get. You can also do other standard actions here. You can move, shoot, melee, reload, revive, order, and aim. So again, let's go over how a round is going to look. So let me fix this up right here, and then I'll show. So we're going to have these 5 cards in our hands. This is from our deck. You're going to, when it's your turn, you're going to choose which one you want to do. So like this one is command. Command allows you to move other targets or allies. So if you want to move a colonist, you can move them away from danger. But let's just choose one right here. So flush them out. So this is an action card. So this is a combat card. So you're going to go gain 1 threat, and it costs 1 action point. So now I chose to have the to be the fire gunner because I wanted the 3 points. It's gonna raise me 1 threat, but I also get 1 additional bonus damage. The Watcher one gives you a react card, which allows you when you gain it, it allows you to react to a certain action from the enemy. So that's pretty good. And of course, when you go all the way to the bottom, you get allowed to heal yourself. You lose 3, and you get an automatic reload. I'll be going over what that does in a bit. So, like I said, we chose this one right here. So this is a pulse and a burst, and then you're gonna get a smash back. So you're actually gonna push the enemy back. So this is my character right here. So I have 3 action points. I can do a basic move. So I might want to move 3. Let's say I want to get here and I want to attack that enemy right there, the defile. So I'm using my gun, the Iron Legion, which is this one right here. So again, this shows how this weapon is going to work. When you pulse, you draw 1 card. When you do a burst, you're going to draw 2 and discard the last. And full auto is draw 3 and discard the last 2. This is the range on the weapon. Some of them will have little bonuses. So this is another character's. When you have the pistol, when an enemy is 1 or 2 spots away, they're going to deal an additional damage. So that's pretty cool. Mine is just a plain old assault rifle. Again, as the game progresses, you will be able to get more equipment and better weapons. But again, this is just a prototype, so they're not going to really see that much. There are guns, more guns and weapons in the prototype, but again, I'm just going to show you the basics of this game. So now I'm attacking that guy, and we're going to use the pulse or the burst. So I can choose. Let's go with burst. So this is the deck from the rifle. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and then I'm going to discard the last one. So this was a miss. So that's actually a good round right there. Now, if I would have done the burst, the pulse, I would have done 2 damage and did a precision. So this means that it would have avoided armor. But instead, I'm just going to do 3 damage on defile number 2. So I will go over to their chart right here. So this is number 2. I would just bring them down 2 health. And that's essentially how combat works. So you're gonna go through this list depending on where your allies and where they're gonna be. After that happens, you're gonna look at what the enemy is gonna do. So they are the red. So they're gonna be at number 4. So they're going to be they would be going after this person right here. So you're going to bring their token down here, and then it says that's their action that they're going to do. So that gets discarded, and you're going to look at their board right here, and it says that they are going to shoot. So you would draw a light attack. They're going to do an instant action, and this is a blight, and they can move up to 5 spaces, and they're going to have a precision attack. So this is going to be doing a lot of damage, and of course that is going to be their range, well, who they can hit. So let's say this guy is going to be going after me. I will draw this card for each enemy, and that's what they're going to do. So if you see here, this person is going to do 2 damage to your chest. And of course, you're going to keep drawing for each enemy, and it's going to show where they're going to hit and how much damage they're going to do. And in this moment, you can play reaction cards and so forth. And so this is going to keep going until the conditions are met. Now, like I said, this is a survival mission. So if you see here, the next thing coming up is going to be a scenario A. So that means you will look in the book, and then it'll tell you all the different things that will happen. So I'm not going to go over this one, but as you see, this is the book right here. So when that card will come up, you're going to do what it tells you depending on the player count. So after that, you're going to be drawing back up to 5 cards in your hand from your deck. Now, if this deck ever runs out, you're actually going to get a suppression card, which clogs your deck. So that's not good. You don't want to run out of those cards. There's a few other things I didn't go over. Again, there's a lot of conditions that can happen to you. There's weapon jams that can mess up your guns. You can get infected with certain things. When you aim, so there's another thing you can do is aim. what aim allows you to do is you look at the first 2 cards of your deck, and you may rearrange them at the bottom however you want, or you could just leave them alone. So like something like this, I would just leave alone and leave it at the top. Again, there's other things that enemies can do. They have these heavy attacks. They have the melee attacks. You also have here when you're hiding behind cover, and there's more cover right back there, barricades. You can always round the damage down to 1. So if somebody does 3 damage, it'll only do 1 damage. We also have these little loot tokens right here. You would draw the card. Here we have a med kit. Well, that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's also different loot in the game. You have armor right here, so you would put it right there on their chest, and it would add 1, and that's how much the armor is worth when you want to sell it and maybe try to get more things. But yes, that is essentially the game. Again, the basics of this game on what is going on. So let's go into my first impressions, and I'll let you know what I initially think about it. Okay, so is this the Gloomhaven killer? I'm going to say yes, and I'll tell you why. Now, I love Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven was a fantastic time. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish it because of COVID at that time, but we were having a blast with it. It was a pain in the butt to set up. There was a lot of stuff going on. But here's where Terminus Frontier beats Gloomhaven, at least for me. It is much more streamlined. Now, the thing I noticed with Gloomhaven, it feels more like a puzzle. It has more of a puzzly feel to it. You know, with the way you choose your cards, if you're going to choose the top or the bottom. This feels like I'm playing a first-person shooter in a board game. You know, you're choosing which action you want to take. If you want to be like the flank, if you want to be on point. You know, you got to work together. How am I going to complete the mission? The missions are pretty hard. They are tough. Again, depending on which ones you play. This is just a prototype. So I did play a bounty mission with the creator on the TTS, and it was a blast. We were playing with 2-player. I did play a 3-player version of this. Again, I think all player counts is going to be fantastic. And again, I like how you can upgrade yourself, get better armor, get better weapons. And you know, there's going to be that storyline that it's up to you guys how it's going to fold. You know, how you're going to what you do in that scenario is going to affect you later on. What I didn't show is that there are going to be different planets that you can travel to. It feels a little bit, I guess, like open world if you want. But this game is fantastic. I'm loving the combat system too. Again, it's very similar to the way Gloomhaven's enemies work. How you just you turn the card over, and that's what the type of damage that they're going to do to you. But now when you're going to shoot at an enemy, I like that it's got the pulse, the full auto or the burst. Like it all does different things. You know what cards are in there. So yeah, you're gonna be counting cards. You know, like if all right, let me reload right now. And that's why I said it feels like I'm playing a first-person shooter. So I like that. It feels different. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's gonna be different than a lot of those dungeon crawlers out there. Again, I'm not saying this is a light game at all because it is not. But when compared to Gloomhaven, it is much more streamlined. But everyone I played with liked it a lot. Again, they were saying the same thing that I was saying when it comes to comparing it to Gloomhaven, as Gloomhaven did feel more like a puzzle. This feels more like I'm playing a video game, but that's turned into a tabletop experience. So I'm really looking forward to what this game is going to bring. I believe it's probably going to come in 2026. The campaign starts next year. I think it's going to be on Kickstarter. I'm not entirely sure. It might be GameFound. I will post the link in the description section when it's available, if it's available at the moment. I don't believe it is. But if you ever want to look at the campaign page, it will be posted in the description section of this video. Trying to think what else I wanted to say about it. The enemies are, again, from what I was playing, they are gonna be different, and that's another thing too. Like each enemy does its own. You have the basic ones, the ones that we were playing with the other day. I think it was called the Defiled. They were tough because they hit you with that blight, and it was poison, which makes the scenario harder. Those rescue missions, watching over the colonists. It's going to be tough, and that's why if I'm going to play this, I want to play this with the 3-4 player count, because when I play a co-op type of game, I want it to be a challenge. I want to work with my friends and get through this scenario, and that's the pure example of a cooperative experience. There are a lot of great cooperative games out there. Some of them are just too easy. And that's why I've always been skeptical when it comes to playing some cooperative game. It's really has to draw me in. It has to be a challenge, because, and again, the thing is, when you play a cooperative game, once you're done with it, it's like, all right, I don't want to go back to it anymore. But what's different with this is that it's got that campaign, and it's most likely going to be a pretty long campaign. We were playing ISS Vanguard, and I'm going to be quite honest with you, I think I'm done with it. I think we played like 5 missions, and it just got too repetitive. And maybe we'll go back to it, maybe not. If not, I'm willing to just chuck it, sell it, and get it off my hands. It's just, I was not enjoying it. But this has got that Gloomhaven feel. I think this is going to impress a lot of Gloomhaven fans. Again, don't compare this game at all to Gloomhaven, because they are somewhat different. There are some similarities, but again, this is, I think, more of a streamlined experience than Gloomhaven. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I cannot recommend it enough. Again, I don't really give ratings to prototypes, but if I had to give what my experience was playing those 2 missions of this game, it would definitely be a 9 or above. I am liking it that much. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. Again, thank you, Forgeborne Games, for sending me this prototype. I had a blast playing it, giving me the opportunity to do this video for y'all. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Help this little channel grow. As you can see, we're getting much more bigger games, prototypes, because of how this channel has been growing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I answer everybody. But that's going to do it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I had a blast playing it, and I'm having a blast telling you about this game. But that's going to do it. Have a great one, folks.